So here we go, ready to learn. Get them learning boots on. This could be the first in the series. Get ready to learn something new, useful. Maybe it's the second in the series, depending on which one you watch first. Don't forget to subscribe, click that like, or hit the bell. Alrighty, English literature. This could be the first or the second, depending on which you watched first. Figurative language is the topic, and the concept is alliteration and assonance. So here we are. Feel free to check out my Patreon too if this video helps you out, and they've got some other videos to check it out on my social media. So here we go. Starting off, figurative language, alliteration, assonance. Look at the following two pictures. What do you think? Think about the detail. So compare the one to the left and the right. When writing a text, like a poem, a song, or a story, it's great to abuse the senses. What does your character see, hear, taste, feel, or smell? What are they thinking about? How are they feeling? So there was a happy man fishing. He was waiting to catch a fish. He waited a long time. That compared to, he waited in high anticipation for his fish, wondering when his lunch would come. He felt weary, for he had skipped lunch. Out of desperation, he had used his last green gummy worm for bait. He was as hungry as a wild beast. He sat silently somehow, feeling strangely anxious, yet hopeful that he would catch his fish. He was a lion waiting for his prey, dangling it as the fish darted around like a laser. He sat patiently as the sunlight glistened in the sky, providing him rays of hope as the birds flew by. And you see that little color getting added just right at the end, the green for alliteration, the purpley blue for assonance. So what is it, you may be asking? Let's find out together. So with the same events, we can write it like this, and again you can hear the difference, and that's because we're using literary devices to create figurative language. That's where the line of figure of speech comes from. Are the deliberate choices the author has made to paint a picture with words. So as I said in my other video, if you've watched it, you can check that out. That's the simile and metaphor video. Figurative language, painting, you can use paint to make a picture, but you can't exactly write a story and paint it onto someone's head. Those are text. That's word. The medium is like word on paper or on a digital device like a Kindle or something like that. By the way, this isn't sponsored content. I'm just tossing stuff out there. So deliberate choices the author has made to paint a picture with words in your mind. So getting to the nitty-gritty, alliteration is the repetition of a particular consonant sound or consonant blend sounds in words close together. For example, the buzzing bee buzzed by. So we got the repetition of the z sound and the b sound. There's my flower and my buzzing bee. And remember, it's the sound. So even though the word setter starts with the letter C, it produces an S sound, so this is perfectly okay. The slithering snake saw the cedar tree. There's my cedar tree I drew. Oh, avoiding copyright. And there's my snake. Don't judge me, I'm Picasso for paint. So listen carefully. How is the pace of reading affected? What sounds are quicker, what are slower? Alliteration, again, is the repetition of a particular consonant sound or consonant blend sounds in words within close proximity. You just have to reiterate that. Consonant blends also count. So, when you got two consonants consecutively. So, for example, the crazy creative crab cried on the crate. So, C is k, R is r. Blend them, it's cr, crazy creative crab cried crate. There you go. So assonance, this is the repetition of a particular vowel sound or vowel sounds close together. Rhymes also count as a type of assonance. For example, the rat wore a hat after wearing that. So here's my rat with a hat, and yeah, if you've noticed, that's the Fatal Fury hat there. Anyway, there's the letter A here that I've lasered. It's not colored in red because that is pronounced or a, not a, compared to the rat hat. So if you know your phonetics, the A, E stuck together are those red ones. Eating also is not part of that because the EA makes the E sound. It's not a, it's E. Man, mind blank. So moving on. Spelling doesn't matter, only the sound that's produced. So similar to the setter example with the C and the S sound. For example, and here's the phonetics. Here, the A sound is repeated here. E-I-A. If you study Japanese, you put those kind of together, you get the A sound. So the sky was gray when today near the sleigh. So, yeah, maybe if you were to have changed this to American English, see, so I do use British or Aussie English every now and then to AY, you'd have the AY and the AY here, but I just deliberately did that so that you could see the spelling differences. Phonetically, they are all this sound above the laser pointer. And here is my sleigh. So with that, there are also many words which may rhyme in some accents, but not rhyme in others. For example, the caught, or the caught, merger present in most US English. So I was just giving you an example. Let's do it a little bit better. So in American English, this generally does work, except for some of the Northeast Coast accents. But basically, the baby was caught in the cot. If we swap that over to like British English or Aussie English, the baby was caught in the cot. I think that's good enough. Whew. There you go. It doesn't work. No, no, no. All right. Alliteration assonance both can also occur when you do them at the same time. For example, the caterpillar and the ant can't carry the cat up the cactus. So here, for the phonetics buffs, we've got the phonetics here. Woo, laser. There we go. They're repeated here, the k and the at sounds. So there's the cat, there's the cactus. And yeah, those bad boys aren't going to be riding it because the caterpillar and ant can't carry the cat up the cactus. They will just get squashed. Look at Mr. Catty Cat here. Jumps you. They're going to die. Don't want that. When trying to write some sentences with alliteration of assonances, just remember, for example, with alliteration, you're trying to write a sentence using the T repeating. Try that. Or with assonance, try writing a sentence with the oo sound repeating. Like, I don't know, the blue cow went moo when it looked at the moon. That would be assonance. And maybe the terrible triplets tried to trick the teacher. Triplets. Imagine having triplets in a class. My gosh, twins are bad enough. Getting confused. Alrighty, and now just some thing to note when you are applying this knowledge when writing a story. Remember, teachers read and people read also, usually heaps, especially teachers. You know what? If we're marking heaps of paper, what stands out if you're writing creative writing piece? A twist ending that we didn't see coming. Please do not do a deus ex machina ending. So that just really is annoying. The payoff just isn't there. It's a kick in the teeth for us spending all the time getting invested in your story. So for example, you got a good climax and you end it with a, it was all a dream. Or, and then I woke up. It's like, hey, wait, so how does this story resolve just like that? You kidding me? Not gonna cop that. So when criticizing literature or answering a question, because remember you are criticizing literature when you study English, you need to back up your points, just like in court where you need evidence to prosecute somebody. Here to prove your argument, you need to reference the text. You cannot say your opinion blindly. Without that reference, you're just talking gobbledygook or balderdash. Or if you're in the court of law, that would probably be dismissed or taken out of account. So what evidence do you have? Remember the vast amount of literary devices, for example, alliteration, assonance, symbolism, metaphors, figurative language, and many, many, much, much more. And make sure to back them up, come up with some solid analysis on points and arguments, and that's what's going to get you marks. So anyone can quote unquote list the literary technique, analysis, and criticism, which is well thought out. That's something smart people do. The analysis is what meat is to a cheeseburger. The better your meat patty, the better your burger. The better your analysis, the better your essay responses. That's what separates good analysis from mediocre, not so good answers. So essay question, what can we tell about the man fishing? He's trying to catch a fish for lunch. Lacks depth, doesn't reference the text. That's not going to cut it. The man feels ready to catch a fish as he takes on the sea, showing his manhood, a reflection on gender roles which were prescribed to men in a post-colonial setting. Are you kidding me? No, this is garbage. It's long and convoluted. The answer goes nowhere, doesn't reference any techniques, doesn't quote the text at all. Not going to pay it. It's also pushing an SJW progressive agenda. Not impressed with that. That's just and won't cut. I just got to call it out here. It's this kind of stuff that gives English a bad name. You know, when people whinge about, oh, but miss, you don't even know the author, or but sir, the curtain's blue because maybe the author liked blue. Yes, I get it. I know where you're coming from. So here we go. Just looking at the answer, see how I've opened it up here. Easy to understand. Let's let's break it down. So it answers the question. So there's a lot we can tell about the man fishing. Firstly, you can tell that he's excited yet weary, and he has the confidence to catch a fish. Just gonna interject. Now the answer goes on. This is evident with the use of alliteration in where the line he had felt weary for he had skipped lunch repeats the H sound, bringing to our attention the fact that he was anxious about the possibility of not getting lunch. Furthermore, his hunger is highlighted by the repeated use of metaphor and similes like he was as hungry as a wild beast and he was a lion waiting for his prey. This in turn effectively creates the imagery of a man desperate to prove his manhood in his struggle against the battle to stay alive in a cruel postmodern world, as the parallels between a man fishing are made apparent through likening him to an animal hunting in the wild, and the struggles which are apparent when desperation strikes. So here are my techniques in the orange boxes: alliteration, repetition, as implied by the repeated, metaphor, similes, imagery. We've referenced the text here because, you know, we read the text. How do we know you read the text or not bluffing your way through? Probably by quoting correct, relevant quotes. You know, don't just pick a random page number and hope it sticks. I've seen that happen. Good try. So, and the answer in green, this has the deep analysis, and then it's wrapped up at the end with the second blue box on the bottom. Those green lines, that's where basically the points that you can get your marks, your grades, that's where we pay them out. That's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak, or the women from the girls, if we're gonna go down that path. Now compare it with our answer before. He's fishing to catch a fish for lunch. Which do you think is better? And pretty much you can say anything you want. Your opinion is your opinion, just so long as you connect it to the question, have a quote that lists the technique and provides solid analysis. So that magically will turn the bull hockey into an amazing response. So good burger for a good paragraph. Their top bun, that's your intro. You got your sauce, that's your elaboration to your thesis. Salad, which is your technique. Cheese, what's a cheeseburger without cheese? It's just a hamburger. You need it. It's the proof itself. So the book, the script, the magazine, the speech, the text that you are quoting, the movie scene. And the patty, that's your thick analysis. That's what separates good responses from bad ones, just like a good meat patty with good flavor, and that is a good burger versus a not so good rubbery burger that you can get some franchise store, which will remain unnamed. Actually, I like their burgers if you know which one I'm talking about. Mickey D's. And the bottom bun, that wraps up the paragraph. It takes us to the next one. That patty's where you move up Bloom's taxonomy. So if anyone goes to a selective school, you should know this. And if you're wondering what they learned there, basically, we don't waste time using the lower end of the spectrum, which is just like recollecting stuff. We got to get to the nitty gritty, move up, analysis and creativity. So here's some good burger on the left, not so good burgers here, not enough analysis. Last one there has no last sentence. This one here, there's no elaboration on the thesis, and here, no meat at all. Horrible. That's not even a burger. Not gonna. So what did you learn today? If someone asks you that and you haven't got an answer, hopefully you've got one now. So figurative language, similes, and metaphors. Don't mix them up. Pace can be affected, for example, with the s and u sounds. Slow things down, while b and e sounds speed things up, generally speaking. Figurative language is a way of painting with words. Alliteration is the repetition of consonants, and assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds. Feel free to screenshot these notes. Alrighty, so thanks for watching and your support. Please subscribe and check out my other videos. Spread the word. Tell your classmates, your friends, and colleagues if you're a teacher or if you're learning. Remember to check out my Patreon to spread the kudos and the loves. The support is much appreciated. Watching the ads also helps too, so if you're not using ad block or you're checking that stuff out, many, many thanks. Also, special thanks and shout out to Karen Yeager. She's the one that has taught me about the abusing the senses thing. Great lecturer, great teacher. Tula, Miss Bull. So she helped me a lot. She's been there since day one. And I won't forget him this time around, Mr. Nair, my ESL teacher. Yeah, you heard that right. I was in ESL before. Look at me now. Teaching the ESL kids too. Alrighty, well, there's no problem with that. We're always getting better. Learning for a bright future. Have fun with that. Good luck with your writing. Catch you next time. Bye now.